exclusive session. Okay, so yeah, so let me start the session now. Okay, so what we are going to discuss in Tableau is basically right now the sessions will help you in understanding about the Tableau. It will be helping about why the Tableau, the background of the Tableau, the history of the Tableau. Then we will discussing about how the Tableau is basically being used by different business analysts, and what is right now in the role of Tableau in current environment where you have so many tools in place.
Mhm.
Then we will discuss how we can work on the Tableau, and then today's session we will just give a high level overview at what is
Mhm.
Tableau about.
Okay.
Then we will going to discuss everything in detail, discussing
Yeah.
all the capabilities which we have in Tableau one by one. Okay. Then
Good.
later on, once we are done with the Tableau desktop, we will have few sessions on Tableau server where we basically going to discuss not only publishing of the reports over the Tableau server but also the some admin related programs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then in our training, we are going to discuss the different use cases which basically we can use, which are more of a practical use cases which you would have doing in your earlier projects. So we'll just see how it is going to get replicated in Tableau. So now
Okay.
going to the to the uh, basically uh, presentation. Okay. So right now uh, we just go with the first slide, which basically talks about that what is a Tableau software. So basically, Tableau software is a visual analysis and reporting tool. Okay, and there are so many tools which basically are being used for the creating pivots, right? You have
Mm.
Excel, you have so many ad hoc reporting tools, right? But we have also Tableau. So around 2005-6 to Tableau was launched, and
Mm.
in different markets it has been penetrated in a different time zones. So let's say it has been launched in 2005, but in last 5 years it has actually took the pace. Okay, now it has been recently acquired with Salesforce. So Salesforce has acquired Tableau with almost $1 billion acquisition, and
Mm.
now it also adds a Tableau a value because now Tableau will be used as a reporting tool in all the Salesforce products. Plus, Salvo also keeps its own identity, so Tableau will be basically running itself as an independent company and
Okay.
having a feature of a Salesforce inbuilt. So both softwares is basically going to help each other. That is basically the objective of that acquisition. If you are interested in understanding the more details about the Tableau. Now going to the background, what basically Tableau about? Okay, as basically it is good that you are from the same background, which basically uh, all BI analyst are basically understands very well. So basically Tableau is as simple as a reporting tool, right? We understand as a reporting tool. So when
Mm.
you go over the website, you can see that if I go and check that, you will have different products from Tableau. So first of all, you need to understand the right thing that okay, what are the products of the Tableau? There are so many products, but what happens that the consultant is unaware about the different products, and people when ask them, they are not able to understand it properly. Okay, so why? What are different products of the Tableau? Let's just first discuss that particular stuff. So if I go to the Tableau homepage, you will find one section here, Tableau products. Okay,
Okay.
and you see here so many products are there, but we only know about Tableau Desktop. And why the Tableau Desktop? Because it is basically the primary thing of the Tableau. The Tableau Desktop is what? Is basically when you click over this, it just is basically a desktop product, okay, which we can discuss over the our presentation also. That it is used for the dashboard development. It uses drag and drop data, so you have a
Mm.
different data points, dimensions, and measures, which basically uh, being used to drag and drop and create a interactive and visualization dashboards. Okay, and you have a flexibility to create your own graphs, drop down charts, so that you can create your dashboard altogether. Then you have another product which is basically Tableau Reader. Okay, and that product is basically, now once you developed your dashboard, okay, in the Tableau desktop, okay, which we discussed. Okay, now if that Tableau product is developed, dashboard is developed, it is how we can distribute to the different users. Now the distribution is done through different ways. One way is that you publish over the web. So you have published your website, your basically dashboard over the website, and then it should be accessible to all the users in your organization. So now we are talking about Tableau server. So basically Tableau server is the product which basically helps Tableau desktop to publish the report developed and host it over the Tableau server, and then this server is accessible to all the users in the organization, so they can log in and then view the data which is published over the Tableau server. So this is basically one way of getting the distribution of the Tableau report. Another way of distribution of report is through Tableau mobile. So basically the same server report which is published over the web can be accessed through the Tableau mobile app, which is available over the iOS and Android, and both can be open and can accessible to the report. So you can view your data properly, you can understand the data, whatever drag and drop you want to do, you can do the analysis over the mobile too. Mobile means mobile, iPad, tablet, everything. Okay, then you have a Tableau reader which you don't see it here. Okay, why? Because it is something which is now been in an obsolete stage. So what used to be earlier when the Tableau launched is basically people were more also interested to send the file over the email, because it was in 2005. So till 2012-13, even people were interested not to use more much over the web. They were still using the email a lot. And what was happened that I create, let's say, let me create a report and he wants to share it with his manager. Instead of sharing it over the web and then he access it over the web, he is sending a file to him and sending it and asking him to open the file and view the report. Now, Learning Manager will also require a Tableau software to do that. Now, that software could be a desktop software. But if it is a
Okay.
desktop software, it will require a license fee at a manager's end also, so that he can view the report. Now, Tableau launches a Tableau Reader stuff. Okay, so what Tableau Reader is there? It is just a software which basically a free application. Okay, and it basically let the people to open and view the visualization which is built on the desktop. So basically, let's say Learning created a dashboard in Tableau desktop. Now he
Mm-hmm.
just want to distribute it to the users. Then he just need to share with the file with the users. Now the user can open the file by installing the Tableau Reader, which is free to everyone. Okay, so he don't require to install any license or software at his end. He just need to install Tableau Reader,
So you
and then
say
he
for
can.
example, you have created a Tableau dashboard in Tableau Desktop. I don't have a Tableau Desktop in my computer. I need to install only Tableau Reader in order to see the dashboard. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a kind
So
of reader is kind of PDF PDF or kind of PDF or
it's a
it's
it's
a
a
software.
interact it's a software with an interaction, so you can do whatever the tooltip filters, everything you can do. It is as
Okay.
good you are working in a Tableau desktop. Only difference is that you can't have any editable privileges. You just
Okay.
see
Read
what is
only.
being done. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
read only. Okay. Now, these are the three things which basically majorly being known by the people. Now there's few more things which basically I would be discussing it, which basically, let's say, Tableau Prep. Okay, and what is Tableau Prep? Now, Tableau has recently launched almost a 1.5 year back that
Mm-hmm.
understood that now my product is not complete till the time I work on some product which is more of a data preparation tool. So we know, as many of the ETL guys are aware, that we have multiple tools like right now Alteryx, right? So Alteryx is one of the tool which has the inbuilt capability that it creates a file in a .dde format, which basically being used by the Tableau. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, ETL Alteryx is basically helps in creating the data transformation with extract, load, and uh, extract, transform, and load concept so that it can create a file which have a processed data. Now that file being used by the Tableau for reporting. Now, in order to replace products like these, Tableau come up with one of the product which basically was Tableau Prep. Okay, and what Tableau Prep is basically trying to do is basically trying to clean your data and do the basic level of ETL. It is not a ETL tool, please keep it in mind. It is
Mm-hmm.
just a tool which is being used for processing of data only for Tableau. It is only done doing only for Tableau. So let's say I
Okay.
want to bring a data from different sources, it can bring
Mm-hmm.
that. I want to
Okay.
transform the data. Let's say I want to put some transformations, mid-level transformation, I can do that. Then
Okay.
the restrictions comes that it will only create a file which is supported by Tableau. So it will create a file which is in .hyper format, and I will talk in detail what is .hyper and what is this. But you understand is created a file which is being only readable by the Tableau. So that is why it is not a proper ETL tool. It is only a concept is ETL, but it can only basically create a file which is readable by tab. So you can see
Okay.
this is one of the designs which you can see it here. It is as good if you have worked on Alteryx, Pentaho or Talent, that there are different sources, there are different transformations which you used,
So what are the
and
different sources it can accept apart from the database?
you have all the sources like text, JSON, you can connect to Hadoop, Hive, you can connect to
Mm.
MapR, you can connect to different. I'll show in detail what are the things. We are not going to discuss Tableau Prep in this discussions, but I'll make sure
Mhm.
that you understand what basically is all about. Okay, so
Okay.
parallelly, will show you to you all the stuffs. Okay, don't worry on that those parts. Now, you can see like all the files which you create here. Okay, you can see it's correct: Oracle, AWS, SAPs. When you say SAP, it connects to SAP BW, not SAP directly. Please make a note of it. Okay, then
Okay.
you have all the features of, let's say you want to view the data of a staging. Those things are already there. Okay, which
Okay.
already are part of all the basically tools. So now we discussed different things, and now I am going to my Excel sheet, okay, just to make sure that we understand it once again, right? So we have a Tableau desktop, okay, which is basically my development tool. Now once I am at a desktop, I can want to distribute my data, okay, distribute my report. What are the
Mhm.
different ways I can do it? One is through web, okay, and that is through Tableau server, okay. Another is that I can do it through mobile, and that is through Tableau mobile.
Okay.
The other way is like as a file, and that is through Tableau Reader, okay. Now Tableau Prep is basically something which is before Tableau desktop. It basically prepares data, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Which data process, not data, basically process data. for desktop, right? Is it clear? Now
Yeah, yeah.
let's do something else also. That it is my desktop. This is my distribute my how I distribute my these are distribution of the report. Now there is one thing which basically I want to add it here. Now Tableau server is something which basically is divided into three parts. Okay, this concept is divided into three parts. One is still called as Tableau server, another is Tableau online, and third is Tableau public. Okay, so
Okay.
what are these three? Is basically these all are distribution way of hosting a file over the web. But let's say now that particular server is getting get installed in your organization machine. So your
Okay.
machine is basically managing your infrastructure for the Tableau server. Now Tableau server minimum requirement is that it requires 8 core processor. Okay, it requires 8 core processor and it requires 32 GB RAM. Okay, for the
Okay.
server working as per the recommended configuration. Now those kind of infrastructure, if your company is able to manage properly, taking backup everything, then that server installation you can do at your organization level, and then that particular product which is available for an enterprise is
Mm-hmm.
basically known as a Tableau server. It's a very license cost. Okay, it has a license fee, everything is there. It's just a cost is a little bit high. Okay, now Tableau also what happens comes up with cloud model. What cloud model is all about? That you install the software at the so like Amazon or Google Cloud or Azure, what they are doing, they are installing their software at there and hosting an infrastructure where you already have all the software installed, and then they are subletting it to the users so that they can use the softwares through a interface, right? Web interface. Similarly, Tableau manages and installed all the server within its premises so that it keeps the data security everything managed, and then they sublet their Tableau server to the users. So let's say your organization is now looking for a subletting a Tableau server instead of creating one. So they can go to the Tableau and ask for Tableau Online. Okay, that is as good as the Tableau server with all the capabilities. Only thing is that you don't have to manage a Tableau server. Okay, so only difference between these two is that you have to manage Tableau server. The Tableau Online, Tableau basically is responsible to manage all the Tableau function infrastructure related work, backup, maintaining server and all those stuff. Rest all the thing. Let's say you're publishing report, managing your Tableau site, your server, everything is the as it is as you do in enterprise. So only difference is just maintaining the machine and installing the software. Okay. Now the third thing is that Tableau public. Now Tableau also does what? For a general public trial purpose, because you don't get a Tableau server as a public component. Okay, you can get a Tableau desktop for trial for 15 days, but you don't have a Tableau server for trial. Okay, now you have a Tableau public, okay, which basically being used, okay, so where you can publish your Tableau reports. So you will get different profiles, almost like about lakhs or millions of a profile of different Tableau desktop developers publish their articles or their dashboards over the particular Tableau public platform so that they can share that particular report with the team and people across the globe. Okay, so that is basically the objective of Tableau public. Now
The Tableau public, sorry. So Tableau public is main is just on software like Tableau desktop.
no, it is already hosted. As I mentioned, it's a Tableau server, right? It is
Mm-hmm.
as it like a Tableau online. You have something you can consider it as a Tableau Online, and you have a two versions of a Tableau Online. One
Okay,
is
I got.
licensed, and
Okay, I
one
got
is,
it.
oh,
So
yeah, one is
whatever.
free.
Sorry. So whatever the dashboard I'm creating, I can publish it to the Tableau public, which can be viewed by all users. Am I right?
Yeah, which is can be viewed by all the users. You don't have the server admin facilities like you will get in online. In online, you can create your own groups, you can create your own projects, many things you can do on your
But
own. But in Tableau Public, it's just a simple portal where you have
yeah.
access only to publish the report.
But in
Okay,
online also, is it free one or I need to
you
pay
have
for it?
to, yeah, you have to pay. It's not available over the trial. You
Okay,
have
but
now a trial. I think they are now giving a trial, okay, for a five creator license, or for one creator license and five, which is also available for 10 days or 15 days. But that is about Tableau Online. I'm not sure about
but
that. I think
so the Tableau online also can be private or is it
uh,
also
Tableau Online is basically a license tool. Okay, it is there. I think you can create a Tableau Online. Uh, yeah, you can go for a trial. You can see, you can go for a Tableau Online, and it is only trial for 15 days.
No, no, no. My question is not that one. Say, for example, Tableau online I'm creating, I have paid my license cost. Okay. So
Hmm.
that can, so under me, so that when I say Tableau online, I have paid for license. So that can be used only for myself, or I can create n number of users.
It depends for all the users which you give. So when you buy it for the organization, okay, and when you do it, you buy it. Let's say you buy it one, so then
Okay.
only one license will be able to view that. Now, let's say you buy 10 licenses, so then you will create a community. Let's say you can add, you can give the access to nine users, that these nine users will be able having my access to the report, and once they log in through their user ID and password, they would be able to view the report.
Okay, okay. So
Okay.
mostly the Tableau online is it is in the cloud and we can use it. The software is hosted in the cloud. We can use it by paying the license cost. But Tableau server is something that even the Tableau server also it will be hosted in Tableau cloud or it will be in the
No,
organization.
it is an enterprise solution. It is hosted in your machine. You are responsible for the installation. You are responsible for the backup or any issues and all.
Okay, okay. So
Everything is
hardware
being
is
owned
not
by it. Yeah.
owned by the organization. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Got it, got it. Okay.
Oh, perfect. So now it basically you have to understand. So now you can see now this Salesforce app installation is being basically now showing up, that you can have these kind of dashboard in your report, very good and all the stuff, right? So
Mhm.
this is something which basically when now more basically you will find this thing more now promoted by Tableau itself. Now going back to the main thing, okay. So if you can see the screen, let's just go to PPT so that we cover everything. Yeah. So you can see the screen right now. Why I'm showing you this screen? This just to make sure that you understand the architecture first. So whatever I created it over the Excel is basically the same thing. Like you have a Tableau desktop, now you have to distribution. You have it installed over the Tableau server. But what we discuss here is something more detailed, that what are different products and all the stuff. And here you can see the end user can directly access to the server and access the report, right? So this is the basic architecture about the end user perspective. But what exactly Tableau does is basically you have a different data warehouse, data marts, files, cubes. Okay. Now Tableau have a basically a different engines. Okay, which basically it connects with the different data. So that is basically a layer of a data connector. So Tableau desktop, or even as a server, when you publish the same thing as a server, you have a components in Tableau which basically act as a data connector, and
Okay.
that basically connects to the data. Now that connector, once they connect to the data, can be used by different server applications, which are basically, let's say, data server, visualization SQL server, application server. What they do is basically they read the data through these connectors, and then data server will basically manage and create your all the data processing tasks. Let's say you do some calculation, you do some query handling, whatever the data you are aggregating, everything is done by this data server. The which SQL server is basically converting the data which is being received by the data server, right, from the
Mm-hmm.
database, and try to convert into a visualization form. So let's say I create a bar graph or pie chart, that records basically which are coming from the backend then converts into a readable form as a chart by this VisualQL server. Okay, where it basically makes sure that you are doing a visualization stuff. And then the application server and VisualQL is a little bit different. This server is basically is responsible for all the rendering of the charts, the charts of the dashboard. Okay, but application server is basically where it basically more acting as a web server, which basically take cares that when the user logins, it has to log in and pass the credentials properly, right? Then it goes to the next server and just view the report, right? It is showing properly, the reports are hosted there. Then when I click on the report, am I permitted to access that report or not? If yes, then I should see the report. Now this all process are basically managed by the application server, because it is more of a control or the genre of a application admin accesses. So these are like a application related things which basically tasks being managed by the application server.
So you
Now
said the data server takes care of the background data, okay, the database
yeah,
data, and the SQL server it transforms the data into the visualization format, okay.
right.
The application server part. So what exactly it does? Can you repeat? Can you tell me again?
It is basically responsible for login, the interface of the login, right? It logins to the your, it makes sure the
Yeah.
report is available over the web, right? So that when the user click, it should open the report which is there, and it take care that okay, it basically uh, all your reports, let's say you have a different projects in your Tableau server. Let's say I have reports for sales separately, finance separately. So you are managing your all user access. Like this folder should be accessible to only sales people. This folder should be accessible to the finance people. Like that, you have a different roles and responsibility at the application level also. Understood? So those all things are managed through application layer.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Now you have a load balancer, or you can say gateway. What load balancer and gateway is very important. Even in Cognos also, if when you are doing it, you know about gateway, right? You are doing it
Yes.
in administration. So you have a primary gateway and secondary gateway. Okay, right, in Cognos too. The
Yeah.
purpose is that to have a primary and secondary, because once the primary is not able to work it properly, you have the secondary which basically take care of your access and request for the report. Similarly,
Yeah.
here the gateway is more of a control where it basically take cares of a availability of the Tableau server through the different links. So when let's say my report link is available over the secured, it is HTTPS or it is HTTP. So it makes all the protocol of read and basically in and out of a protocol to read the data through the web interface and revert it through the web interface is basically done by the gateway or the load
Okay.
balancer. Now, how they are different? Let's say you have a mobile app, it has a different gateway, right? It works
Yes.
differently. You have a web application, it works differently, right? Similarly, you have
Yeah.
a desktop. Even through desktop, you can connect your reports available over the Tableau server. Okay, so it works differently. So there are different models of doing it. That is why you have more complex task or architecture of this. So Tableau architecture is something which was very admired, and that is why it keeps also people who are more of a technical background, who
Mhm.
understands, let's say, Cognos, MicroStrategy, MSBI, Tableau. Okay, so people like, let's say, even I worked on almost 10 to 15 tools extensively. Yeah. So in my limited experience of almost 10 to 12 years, I know that okay, this tool is how it is architecturally different from another tool, and that basically makes it very much popular at the people who at that realm, so that they know that okay, this product is having a capability with a vision to work for next 10 years too. Okay, and that is why Tableau server was one of the first ones which basically divided all their main responsibilities as a separate server component. It was earlier when it you can find articles over it where it was been initially mentioned that why it is doing something like this, which is not required at that moment of time, but later on it was very much appreciated because due to that, Tableau servers are able to bring new technologies, offer new algorithms, and even upgrade itself seamlessly. So once they are able to develop, for example, let's say I have a new charts coming up, right? So now I just need to work on my visual QL server. I don't have to work on the data server because it is being already done. You don't require a data in a different format. It is more of a responsibility of which QL server. So as I broke my product in such a way, it helped me in scaling my product to the new capabilities.
Okay.
Now we go ahead, okay, and we will understand what are the different things in Tableau we are going to do. Okay, so first of all, the different data source and connections, and then I'll now go more of a practical session. Okay, this PPT will be shared to you. Okay, this is almost 50 or 70 slide PPT. It basically helps you in understanding the stuffs, and we'll try to show it to you how it is going to help. So if you see, this is my Tableau desktop. How you can install the Tableau desktop? First, let's discuss. So when you go here and go to Tableau desktop, you will go and identify a place where you will say try it for free. When you click on this, you will download the latest version of Tableau, which is 2019.3. Okay, it shows a 14 days, uh, 14 days trial. Okay, and 40-day trial, you can get this desktop installed. Now this is the version of a Tableau 2019.3. Okay, and every few months you are getting a new version of Tableau with new number of features. Okay, so
Every 3 months.
mostly it could be early too in case you have a big bug or something like that. It upgrades, it upgrades very fast. Okay, so you will find, let's say for 2018 you have four versions, and right now we are mid of the quarter, right? And now I have
Mhm.
three versions, and each version also will have sub versions. So let's say I have 19.1, 2, 3, then I have 19.2. So why it is having? Because that is the main objective. You understand, it is not a very robust tool like Cognos. Okay, you have so many things in Cognos, like say Report Studio, Event Studio, Query Studio, Analyst Studio, like that. So many stuffs are there, right? And then you have one admin which is basically taking care of everything and all. Now Tableau Desktop made it very simple. The end product is not people like Lenin who are a developer. To be very frank, okay, what Tableau is trying to do, that you don't require any developer to develop the report. The business analyst requires to develop the report, make a report product so simple that he can log in. He just need to watch 4 or 5 videos so that he knows how to connect the data, drag and drop, create its own report, connect to database, create your own report. So what it is trying, it's not competition to the Cognos, it's competition to the Excel. And it understands that Cognos is not going to Cognos or MicroStrategy or MSBI products are a big BI scale which are basically developed with lot of efforts. Okay, there are so many. Still, TM1 is used for planning in a lot of bankings and lot of the financial sectors, right? Why? Because it is being irrespective. We have so many new products also coming up because it is like a legacy. Now it's more of a legacy now. Now Tableau, just because they are more focusing, is giving a capability that people use less Excel for analysis. They can use Tableau Desktop directly, and that is why they are increasing very high because they are targeting a more data set. They are not what trying to identify the developers are required to create a report. They are more making it easy that the business analyst can directly do this kind of reporting. So that is the basically their altogether business model also. Okay, how to increase their business. Now going back to the main stuff, how I will create one simple report here. So this Tableau desktop can be installed, and if it is can be installed and keep it there for a 14 days. I am not going to show it how to install it. It is very simple. You just need to download, click on the run, and then it will go and install the particular report. Now, once if you have an issue, you can ask me in the next session. I will show a demo of it also. Now, when you open this Tableau desktop, on the left hand side, you have the different connections, right? You have a different connections which are basically connection to the data sources. So you have Microsoft Excel, text file, JSON, Access, PDF, spatial, statistical data. If I click over here, you will have so many others here, right? You have so many others here. So you have so many things here which you can showcase. Now going to this Tableau server, you have a different kind of data sources which hosted on the Tableau, which hosted on a server. For example, database. Database is hosted in a database server. Okay, so then it is accessible to people through a credential. Let's say you need to give a user ID, password, port number, server name. Those are the basically details required for the connection string. So those all things are required to log into the server, data server. So all the data servers which are of that particular um, background, okay, are combined together, or you can say kept together in this section. And when you click over this, you will find almost 59 to 60 data source where you can connect it. I suggest you can go one, identify which of them are being connected, which are can't. And two things which I am going to add it here, that there is a ODBC connection where basically many data sources which are not able to connect through existing data connectors which is already installed. Okay, you have a ODBC which can be used to connect through the data through the ODBC connection. The another kind of the stuff is like web connector. Web connector is nothing like many people which are able to create their own application, okay, and consider their application to be accessed as a data source. For that purpose, web connector is been basically introduced. So there is a special programming way to create a particular web connector. So anyone who is having a privilege with a skill set of, let's say, Java, advanced Java and connector skill set, that can develop that particular connector and host that connector, and that connector can be accessed through the Tableau desktop. Basically, these are the two customized ways which keeping it open, that okay, you have the list of let's say 60, 70 data sources which is embedded and available in your Tableau desktop. But these are the two additional ways through which one helps you to connect through web connectors, either help you to connect to all the files stored in the your machines, okay, so that you can do open data source connections, ODBC. So now these are the two things where you can see it works, okay. We will going to have a very detailed discussion of everything, okay, but right now we are just showing it how it is going to do it. So now at the bottom you will find that there are some saved data source. What are these saved data sources? Basically it's the sources which can connect, which you are using it frequently, so that you can connect every day or every month, whatever is required. Let's say you have 10 reports to create and everyone is basically using the same data source, then you can save that data source in your Tableau desktop, so that later on it gives a easy flexibility that you connect to the same data source. Now if you click over this particular icon, which is a Tableau icon, you can switch to a mode where you can do a development. So once you connect your data, you will data, it will be basically showed here that okay, this is my data and this is my file. Let me just give you a sample example that okay, data, I have this data and I am connecting to the data sets, okay, and when you connect my data set, you'll see that okay, I am getting my sheets here. All the sheets are showed in the left hand section. You can just add it there, you will find the columns, right? You have some options here, live and extract, which basically we will discuss tomorrow. You have multiple things here. Once that data is available, you see there is a sheet one. It just shows you the columns and the matrices which are there coming in the Excel source. Now if I drag and drop here, or I do any flexibility here, you will find the information showing in the report. It automatically goes to rows, right? You have not done anything. I just double click on the particular column or cell. If I double click here, automatically it goes to the text. Okay, so it has the programming mentioned or logic has been developed here inside, which basically giving a intuitive, you can say, features to the Tableau users, so that they don't have to expect much. It becomes so much easy for them how to do and see the report. Now, once I see this report, I have a different filters, pages, different markups and all, which are being used to develop and add a feature or a complexity in my report, okay, so that I can develop my report in a much complex way, more business perspective, it can be used properly, okay. Now that is something which basically being shown in this particular report, okay. So now let's say I have this report available, and this report then can be published through a server, okay, and then once it is published through a server, you can sign in, and when you sign in, you just need to give your credentials of the report where you are going to publish it. Let's say I am doing it Tableau Online, right? So Tableau Online I'll just do, and once I am installing, basically publishing the report over the Tableau Online, I just need to give my credentials and then it will install over the Tableau Online. Okay. And then this report is accessible to the users through a Tableau Online. So that is
Okay.
basically, yeah. So that is basically how simple is Tableau, but we are going to make it more complex by giving a more detailed information. So right now I just showed you the basic overview about the Tableau, but we are going to discuss everything in detail. So then you will discuss, okay, these are the different ways through which you can add a complexity in the tab. So yeah, Len, do you have any questions?
Yeah, I think this is okay. This is today is a overview session, right?
Today's overview session, right. So tomorrow, what we are going to discuss, we would be discussing all the this section. Okay, it is not
Okay.
about how we are going to do everything. There are many things in the data set. Okay, but the best part is that what I can see, the our sessions will be more productive because you already have a better view of our data. Like you are already from that background, so it helps me to explain you. okay, this is my dimension, this is my measure, and all the stuff. Okay, this is more aggregation and all those stuff. So you are more able to relate those terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it makes life more easy. So it makes life, only thing is that I need to cover everything which is there in Tableau as per my knowledge. Okay, and we will first discuss Tableau database and all details. Even we will be more discussing how the interviews and everything turn up. Then we will discuss in details about dimension and measures. There are many things which is not shown here, like sets, parameters, right? Those things are not shown right now. Once we discuss about all the things which are comfortable, maybe tomorrow we will have a longer session and try to close this up. Then we will discuss about how we can use other features, like how you create pages and all this stuff. We will
Okay.
discuss one by one all the features which is there
But
at that part.
actually today is a 2 hour session, right?
So, Lenin, I am not going to have 2 hour session today. The reason is that I need to identify, are we going to have only you in the session, or it would be multiple people? Okay, and
Well,
yeah, so I don't want everyone to get
just just
hold of
just be
the.
on the line. Just be on the line. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, so it would be more. Just a second. Let me pause the recording. You
This
have
conference
confused.
will now be recorded.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
No,
So
if
that is,
tomorrow
yeah.
I'm the only one, so is it possible to